What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. Shout out to the Rich family for continuing to show y'all support. I just want to go ahead and say thank y'all as well. But before we get started, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And let's reach 50 likes on today's video. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, I'm going to be bringing y'all the top 3 never before seen best rare builds on NBA 2K22 current gen for season 9. Now, to get started, we're going to go ahead and make a build out of the playmaking and shooting pie chart. Once we go ahead and get into the physical profile, you can pick the first one for the maximum speed or the fourth one to get a boost put towards our vertical. Now, with this build, we're going to be making a play shot with lockdown takeover. So let's go ahead and get started by putting the stats into the finishing. I'm going to go with a driving layup of an 80, driving dunk of a 64, and right there, we're going to leave this at 1 finishing badge. But when it comes down to the shooting, max out that mid-range, 3-pointer for the same exact thing, and we're going to be able to maintain 17 shooting badges. Now for the playmaking, we get 24, max out the pass accuracy and ball handle, go with the 62 post control. Now for the defensive end, we're going to be able to get at least 10 defensive badges put towards this build. Now if you want to, you can throw the rest of the attributes into your free throw, and right here, if you make one minor adjustment, you can be able to upgrade your badge count for the shooting from 17 to 18. Now this is really all based on your own preference. Let's go ahead and get into the body shape. So if you want to take up the most space, I would go with burly or built. Now that is only for defensive purposes, but once we go ahead and get into the height, you can actually choose different heights as well as wingspans for this build. The weight, I would highly recommend picking the lowest. Again, this is all based off my preference. But when it comes down to the wingspan, you need to go ahead and adjust to where we are able to unlock that lockdown takeover, but also still be able to get the same exact play shot build name. Now at this point, if you see any type of adjustments that you want to go ahead and make towards this build, go ahead and do so after we get the play shot build name. But as for the takeovers, you can pretty much pick anything based off your own liking. Now we do get 4 different options to pick from if you have made it exactly how I brought it to y'all today. But just know, as far as for the wingspan and the height, these should both be based off your own preference. Now, we do get the sharpshooting takeover as well. I know a good amount of people would also like to go ahead and pick that one. So go ahead and pick either of the two. I'm going to be going with the lockdown. And as y'all can see, we have made the playmaking shot creator build with lock takeover. Now, since we are in season 9, consider the extra 9 badges that we have been able to unlock from each season. Now let's go ahead and get into the second build that I'm bringing to y'all today. A power forward, but I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those catfish builds just like this play shot with the lockdown take. Now, before we get any further into today's video, go ahead and comment down below. Where are you tuning in from watching today? Now, if you comment down your city or state, best believe I'm going to go ahead and hit y'all with a reply. But let's go ahead and get started with making this power forward position. So, this is another one of those catfish builds, and just by the pie chart, y'all should already be able to consider what build I'm going to be bringing to y'all today. But if you haven't, we're going to go ahead and make this one out of the Hall of Fame shooting and finishing pie chart. Now, for the physical profile, you have to pick between the first or the fourth one. Now, if you go with the fourth physical profile, you'll be able to get a huge boost put towards the vertical. And if you haven't found it already, we're going to be making a stretch playmaker build with contact dunks. So, to start out with the finishing, I'm going to go with a close shot of a 67. Then for the driving layup, go with a 74 and a 75 driving dunk for a total of 4 finishing badges. Now, for the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and max out my 3-pointer. Free throw will be an 85. 76 for the post fade with a 66 mid-range shot. Or if you actually do feel like adjusting the mid-range, you can go ahead and do so to try to get extra badges in other areas of this build. But for the playmaking, max out the pass accuracy, ball handle, as well as the post control. And that right there is going to equal another 17 badges for the playmaking and now the shooting. But for the defense, I'm going to go ahead and max up my interior, 49 for the perimeter, then a 60 lateral quickness, max out that block, offensive rebound with a 75 defensive rebound, and a total of 9 defensive badges. Now at this point, if you want to keep the exact same numbers that I'm bringing to y'all for this build, go ahead and keep it as is. But for the body shape, again, if you want to take up the most space, go with Burley or Built. Now, for the height, what I'm going to go ahead and do is make this build to 6'7", and as you can see, already right there, we get a huge boost put towards our physicals. But then, once you adjust the weight, the same exact thing is going to be applied, another boost put towards the speed and acceleration, and then to be able to get the contact dunks. What you want to go ahead and do is make sure that you follow me exactly what I'm bringing it to y'all right now. So go with an 83.0 wingspan, and right here, you're going to be able to get the takeovers that you need in order to unlock the contact dunks. Now again, feel free to make your own adjustments based off your own play style and preference, but I'm telling you, considering this build at 99 overall is easily going to be one of the most toxic and rare builds to use. Now, we have the sharpshooting takeover, the playmaking, the post scoring with the slashing, which is exactly what we needed. Let's go ahead and pick the slashing to go with the Catfish build name. And as y'all can see, we have created the stretch playmaker build. Now, I have one final build on this list for y'all today. Going to be a big man type of archetype. And coming up at number 3, I'm going to be bringing y'all the Catfish Paint Beast. But we're going to be able to get sharpshooting takeover on a Paint Beast build. So, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to go ahead and say thank you so much. And if you have been playing 2K22 already for Season 9, I would have to say it is a huge W to have all of the previous reward systems back into one season to end off the year. Now to get started, we're going to go ahead and put this build under the power forward position. Now, as for the physical and the pie chart, I'm more than sure you're going to be able to make this build out of different pies, but the one that I'm going to go with is going to be the second one, split right down the middle with the finishing and the shooting. Now, you have the same option for the physical profile here. If you want to get the maximum speed, go with the very first. But if you want to get a huge boost put towards the vertical, I would highly consider picking the fourth. Now, there is no wrong way to go about this build, but as long as you're happy with the stats, I promise you, that's going to be the best way to go about it. But even if you want to go ahead and add on some extra strength, you can go with this one right here. 66 speed, 63 acceleration, 54 vertical, and a 75 strength overall. Now, these numbers are going to change, but let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the count for the badges. Now, we're going to be able to get a total of 19 finishing. I did max out the close shot, standing dunk, and the post hook. Then for the shooting, what I'm going to go ahead and do is max out the mid-range, three-pointer, skip my free throw, and max out that post fade for a total of 16 shooting badges. And then for the playmaking, we're going to be able to get 16 here as well. Max out the pass accuracy, go with the 51 ball handle, and a 76 post control. Now at this point, we got the defense to work with. So let's go ahead and start out with the interior defense. I'm going to go with a 69, max out that block. Also, same thing for the offensive rebound and put the rest into the defensive. And if you want to, you can upgrade your lateral quickness or the offensive rebound. Really comes down to your own preference. But if you want to get the most badges, just go ahead and copy it exactly as I'm bringing it to y'all. But look, a total of anywhere from 6 to 7 badges. You can even go with 5, but as long as you like the badge count, I promise you, everything will work out. Now, when it comes down to the body shape, what I'm going to go ahead and do is make sure that I pick either compact or defined. Now, when it comes down to the height, I want to be able to make sure that I get the best speed for this build, the best strength, as well as everything else with the wingspan. So I'm going to go with 7 feet exactly. Then for the weight, go with 279. If you want to go lower, that should all be based off your own preference. Then for the wingspan, Now, this is all how you feel about it, but for my liking, as long as we're able to get the sharpshooting takeover, I'm going to be perfectly fine with whichever wingspan y'all decide to go with. So, 94.0 right here is going to unlock not only the post scoring, but we also do get the rim protecting. But if you make a minor adjustment, go ahead and bring it down, and right here, you're going to be able to get the sharpshooting takeover as well. Now pick whichever one you want to go with based off your own preference. But right here, I'm going to go with the max wingspan, and we have created the paint beast with the potential of sharpshooting takeover. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And let's go ahead and hit 50 likes on today's video. Again, thank you God for this opportunity. Thank y'all for the support. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.